My husband and I were on the way back home from visiting family. We left a little later, so halfway through the trip, it became dark. This wasn't a big deal because we normally drive at night when heading back from visiting. Every time we get ready to leave a place, we always pray for a safe drive home. Anyway, during our drive, nothing really happened. We were just talking and listening to music. However, at one point, I looked up and saw something in the middle of the road. I yelled my husband's name, and he saw it too. He slammed on the brakes, and we came to a stop just in time. There was a deer just standing in the middle of the road, staring at us. I thought it was weird because we were in an area in the city. My husband honked the horn, and the deer finally ran out of the road. I thanked God for keeping us safe. If someone had been behind us during that night, our drive home would have been completely different. Years ago, I was working at a fast food restaurant, and I was scheduled the graveyard shift. My shift was from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. It was a busy night as there had been dances in the area that evening. I was exhausted after my shift, but I had prayed for the Lord to bring me home safely. As I was turning off the main road, there was a loud swoosh sound. I stopped my car to see what it was. Behind me, I saw a truck in the ditch. The guy said that he swerved to miss hitting me. I said that I didn't even see him and asked if he was okay. He was, and I told him that I would call a tow truck for him. I called a family friend to pull him out, and thankfully his truck was fine. God had protected us both. This story is from a guy's perspective. I was about 18 when this took place. I had recently gotten a girlfriend and had invited her to go to an anime convention with me, as we both really enjoyed anime and video games. It was our first convention, so I thought it was a great idea for a first date. I spent the weekend at her family's house as they had invited me. We ended up having a really good time, and it was a lot of fun. But I wasn't looking forward to the drive home, as it was about a 3 to 4 hour drive back. I left around 6 p.m. and started my way back home. It was a pretty quiet drive and seemed like it was going to be good. However, as soon as I got to the halfway point in my drive, my car began to get smoky and started making weird noises. By this time, it was already after dark when I pulled over. I wasn't really sure where I was, so I decided to call my dad. As I was trying to tell him that I wasn't sure where I was, my phone slips out of my hand and broke in two. For reference, it was a flip phone, and the top part of it had been really loose. That is when I started to get worried, and panic was filling my mind. I began to look around, but most of the places were closed. I started praying that some place would be open, and began to run to a nearby shopping area. That is when I saw a restaurant with its lights still on. I breathed a sigh of relief and ran inside as I explained what happened. They were very understanding and let me use their phone. I was so thankful that they were open. My dad came to the restaurant to pick me up, and we got my car towed the next day. It's been a few years since this happened, and the restaurant is no longer there. However, I still think about this day often, and am very thankful that they were able to help me out that night.